A little different than basketball press conference. A lot of media in here today. I guess I'm gonna start with y'all today, right now. First off, I just thank y'all for covering me and all the exposure that you gave me, my family.
I think more than anything, I'm just really excited. I think this is a dream. This is something I wrote down on a piece of paper when I was in second grade, get a basketball scholarship, play in the WNBA. This is always something I wanted to do.
Caitlyn Clark has finally snapped, and she's not holding back. She's coming for the WNBA, calling out all the shady moves that have been going down behind closed doors. From day one, she's been iced out, overlooked, and straight up targeted since the moment her name got called on draft night. She sat back and watched Brittney Griner get showered with all the love, the promos, the endorsements, the protection from the league. Caitlyn? She kept it chill. No complaints, no drama. But while she stayed quiet, they treated her like a punching bag. On the court and in the media. Now? She's done playing nice because Caitlyn just exposed the real game. And guess what? It was never just about basketball.
In full swing. I heard that season tickets are going like blazes in Indiana. Have you heard that rumor?
I have heard that rumor. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think they're selling pretty well.
Clark is also part of the reason why a record 18.9 million viewers tuned in to this year's NCAA championship game, making women's basketball must-see TV. One of the really great things about this season has been watching all of the little kids, most of them little girls, who are so inspired to play basketball because of you. What does that mean to you?
I think that's the reason you do it, and just to see them scream your name or have your jersey on, that's something that never gets old.
This wasn't about talent or building the league up the right way. It's always been about control. About picking favorites and making sure only certain players stay in the spotlight, no matter who's really packing out the stadiums.
She felt that frustration, that you all were feeling that frustration. So what did you see from her and able to really lead that charge?
I mean, she brings that energy every single day, so really happy for her.
They gave Griner the mic, the comeback tour, the full red carpet treatment. And while Caitlyn was smashing records and bringing in a whole new generation of fans, the league acted like she was invisible. And when you really look at it, it's obvious. They were never gonna let her win. Not because she couldn't, but because she didn't fit their mold. Now the so-called Golden Girl just flipped the script. And what she said might have been the last straw for the WNBA. Right after they dropped her from the All-Star starter lineup, the league went full-on PR blitz for Griner.
But I would have rather been in a 2-a-day dying, and than to be where I was. So just looking forward to being back to that. Am I exactly where I want to be? No, but I'm on the right track to getting there. That's for sure. I will say that.
ESPN packages, flashy highlight reels, all the media attention. Every camera locked in on her like she was the league's brand new queen. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's out here packing stadiums, breaking records, and pulling in fans who've never even watched a WNBA game before. We're talking major viral level buzz every single week. Fans are literally flying across the country just to catch Caitlyn Clark in action. But when it came time for the league to spotlight the real game changers, the ones bringing in new fans, fresh money, and big business, they acted like Caitlyn didn't even exist. Like all her impact was just some little background noise. And the wild part? Everyone sees it. Even reporters can't hide it.
All of this stuff adds up. People always want to just use the really big fouls that don't get called. It's oh my God, can you believe this wasn't going to get called? The reason why I'm really trying to highlight this is because this is what goes on all game. Every single game. Every single possession. It's endless. And it will wear you down. Wear you down.
In one clip, Caitlyn's getting interviewed after a game, and the reporter straight up says to her face that she's the reason Indiana's season ticket sales are through the roof. That's not just hype, that's facts. But here's where things get real shady. ESPN dropped their mid-season player rankings, and out of nowhere, Caitlyn falls from her preseason #1 spot all the way down to #9. No explanation, no respect. No one's talking about the insane pressure she plays under. Sold-out crowds every night, cameras in her face 24/7, every play judged like it's a national headline. Instead of giving her props, they quietly pushed her down the list like she's just another rookie. Meanwhile, guess who's chilling near the top? Brittney Griner. Like this whole story was scripted from the jump. Let's be real. If this was just about stats and performance, Caitlyn still leads the pack when it comes to why people are even watching.
Caitlyn, the question I get about you all the time is how will your game transcend into the WNBA? How do you see that fit?
I think the biggest thing is my passing, and I think that's kind of what people overlooked at times in college, is like people just love the scoring so much, and don't get me wrong, I love shooting the ball, but I think that's the biggest thing, and obviously being surrounded by so much talent, no matter where I end up, is like the league is loaded with so many people, and I think that's something that I've always had a knack for from a very young age. I grew up playing soccer and understanding angles and seeing the game before, it even happened.
And when the league tries to excuse it all with their go-to "we're honoring the vets" line, it's starting to feel flat out disrespectful. Now Caitlyn's had enough of playing along with the PR spin. After another game where the headlines were more about who shoved her than what she actually did on the court, she finally let some truth slip out. A reporter asked how it feels carrying this weight, being at the center of every drama she never asked for. And instead of giving the usual "I'm just here to hoop" line, Caitlyn paused, and then dropped something real. Here's the clip. You'll see for yourself. Caitlyn brings that fire every single day, and now the world's starting to notice. Because when she speaks, it's never just to make noise.
I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
She chooses her words carefully, so when she paused mid-interview, looked a little fed up, and actually said she was frustrated, that wasn't random. That was her way of saying, yeah, I see the game being played, and I'm done playing along. And what makes it even more real? She's never once called out the players who've fouled her or thrown shade at anybody by name. Even when reporters try to get her to speak on the respect issue, she shuts it down smooth. She stays focused on her team, her game, and keeps it about basketball.
I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
But the fans? Oh, they see everything. They see a league doing flips to protect a chosen few, while Caitlyn's expected to just smile through the chaos. And folks are over it. Just look at this one viral comment that's everywhere. Never watched a game until Caitlyn arrived. And that's not just one person, there's millions out there feeling the same. This ain't just fan noise, the numbers back it up. Caitlyn's putting eyes on this league like never before. So how come she's being treated like she's in the way? But if you thought that was shady, hold up.
Let's remember why she went to Russia. She went to Russia because they don't make enough money here based on their talents to support themselves. So after a harrowing year, Ms. Griner finally returning to the court, but she's going to take a pay cut to do it after 9 months of wrongful detainment in Russia.
'Cause the next move from the league? Straight up calculated. They didn't just forget about Caitlyn. They handed the spotlight to Brittney Griner on a silver platter. And yeah, ever since she got back from that whole Russian prison drama, the WNBA has been pushing her hard, like she's their official comeback queen or something. They've been riding that redemption storyline non-stop. Just check her ESPN sit-down. They framed her return like it was some deep, emotional turning point for the entire league. The vibe? She's been through it, now she's the face. Look, no one's saying Brittney didn't go through a real situation. That whole thing overseas was intense. But let's not act like the league isn't playing favorites. They're choosing to ride the comeback storyline while ignoring the one player who's actually keeping the lights on.
For the first time in an extensive interview, former WNBA player Candace Wiggins said the league's culture was full of bullying and jealousy. Wiggins told the San Diego Union Tribune that she was frowned upon as a straight woman, claiming 98% of WNBA players are gay, adding, "People were deliberately trying to hurt me all of the time. I'd never been called the B word so many times in my life than I was in my rookie season. I'd never been thrown to the ground so much." The message was, "We want you to know we don't like you." Wiggins believed her pride in being a woman didn't fit well in the culture.
Meanwhile, Caitlyn's out there catching elbows mid-court, getting smacked with flagrant fouls that don't even get called. And it's not just one or two, it's constant. There's even highlight clips from creators showing how often she gets fouled, and somehow it's treated like it's normal. Like this is just how it goes. It's giving, let's push her out without ever saying it out loud. And trust, the fans aren't blind. They see everything. There's this one comment making the rounds that says it better than any headline. I thought I was self-destructive until I found out about the WNBA. A rookie boosts her team's value, skyrockets attendance, helps land a better TV deal, and they treat her like shark bait, letting her get slammed with flagrant fouls like it's part of the plan.
I think all the players are saying, look, if you're saying this is a culture, this is something that it happens to everybody in the league or is league-wide all the time, that's something they, want to comment on because all the people that I've talked to said that hasn't been there.
And that's not just drama, that's the truth. Right after the draft, when Caitlyn had the whole country watching, when the WNBA had its biggest moment in years, ESPN straight up skipped her in their primetime post-draft interviews. No sit-down, no spotlight, nothing. And this is the same rookie who just shattered NCAA records. Don't act like she wasn't available. She already sat down for pre-draft media, so what was the excuse? That silence after the draft? It was loud. It said everything. Here's the clip from pre-draft media day, just to remind everybody exactly what the league chose to ghost, instead of putting her front and center where she belongs. While Caitlyn was being completely ghosted by the networks, Angel Reese was out here racking up endorsement deals like it was nothing. And this is the same Angel who's been caught throwing shade in interviews, fouling players mid-court, and turning every game into a headline-grabbing show. Let's be real. Caitlyn gets sidelined for being too focused, too chill, and too drama-free, while Angel's out here moving like she's trying to land a reality TV deal. And that's who the league wants to spotlight? And once you follow the money, it all starts making sense. Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese, two rookies carrying the WNBA on their backs, are pulling in just $76,000 to $80,000 a year. That's it, even while they're filling up arenas and pulling in record-breaking viewership. Meanwhile, Brittney Griner is sitting comfy with a Supermax deal worth $215,000. And that's after she already took a 32% pay cut. Let that sink in. And the wildest part? When Griner went overseas to Russia to chase bigger money, people were dragging the WNBA for not paying their stars right. Even major news outlets were calling it out. And now the league wants to pretend like it's all good? Nah. This isn't just about talent. It's about image. The WNBA clearly wants a very specific type of face tied to their brand. And if you don't fit that mold, you get sidelined or silenced. And yeah, we're talking about identities too. This ain't new. Candace Wiggins spoke out years ago about being bullied out of the league. Not because she couldn't hoop, but because she didn't fit in from day one. She said once she got to Minnesota, she instantly became a target. Why? Because she didn't follow the league's unspoken image rules. It's not just politics, it's a pattern. Don't be too girly, don't shine too bright, and definitely don't be straight. That's the real message getting pushed. A major WNBA reporter even laid it out, then flipped the whole script and acted like other players never had an issue. But now, we're watching it play out again. Same game, just new faces. Caitlyn Clark is getting the exact same treatment. And let's be honest, her relationship with Connor McCaffrey, that alone makes her stand out big time in a league that's quietly built its image around LGBTQ players and politics. She doesn't hide it either. She's talked about her boyfriend in interviews like any normal person would. And if you missed it, here's the clip where she mentions him. So how come Brittney gets treated like royalty, and Caitlyn gets treated like a problem? Angel Reese can get up in her face screaming, Trinity Carter can blindside her mid-game with a dirty hit. And the league just keeps it moving. No texts, no ejections, nothing. One comment online hit the nail on the head. Caitlyn Clark is literally getting assaulted and battered on the court, and the refs always miss it, even when it happens right in front of them. And that's what it all comes down to. This ain't about fairness, it's not about safety, it's about image, and who they're trying to humble. And if you think the WNBA is just gonna stay neutral, nah. Watch how far they'll go to protect Brittney, even if it means tearing Caitlyn down in front of the entire world.